Hello again. You know, I posted the elderly need to know. They need to know this. And it was MVI 2442. It's getting some interesting comments. One of the viewers wrote, "Gabe, right stuff. I got deathly sick from a fast food burrito and my wife insisted on taking me to the ER. They diagnosed E. coli food poisoning and wanted to keep me for observation because of my age and the severity of my symptoms, but I refused and went home. Later, I found out that Medicare doesn't pay for observation. I figure my disdain for hospitals saved me about $10,000. I wonder if the ER doctor knew. The elderly are also getting soaked by calling for an ambulance. The fees are horrendous." You know, a friend of mine, he wasn't present. His wife was out with his son-in-law. They were out boating, and she was being pulled around on one of those rubber inner tubes, and she flipped off, I guess, and when they came around with the boat, she appeared to be rather traumatized. So, not knowing if she had a severe head injury, they called for a medevac helicopter. It only flew her a few miles to a local hospital. You know what the bill for the helicopter was? Huh? $48,000. $48,000. That happened recently. About 25 years ago, I had a similar experience. I was married at the time, and we were at Lake Powell, and I rented ski equipment, which I shouldn't have done, and we had a ski boat that we rented, and we had a houseboat. And not that you'd know it, but I'm a pretty aggressive kind of guy, and I was in a high-speed slalom cut, and the ski slid out, because again, it wasn't very good equipment. I was wearing a flotation belt, not a vest. And as I slid out, the water came up between my body and the belt, and it caused a compression break. I didn't realize that. I just was in excruciating pain. I swam on my back to shore. I wouldn't let them pick me up. I wouldn't let them touch me. I couldn't believe the pain I was in. I thought I had put a hole in one of my lungs. They ended up calling a helicopter, and it came into Lake Powell, and it flew me to Page, Arizona, which might have been about a 15-minute hop. This is back in I'd say 87, 88. Going off the car I had at the time. In either case, I did have insurance, but the bill was completely ridiculous. I can't recall specifically. I think it was around $20-some-odd thousand. And they charged for a whole lot of items. And, you know, I questioned the bill. Although I wasn't paying for it, I still questioned the bill. I said, "You didn't use any supplies." And I was told, "Well, but that's just part of how we bill." Yeah. So you have to be real careful before you call for an ambulance. Make sure that there is some form of insurance, unless that's life-threatening. But don't ever get yourself in a situation where you're admitted for observation, because once again, you'll end up with a significant hospital bill. The viewer thought it was around $10,000. It might have been a whole lot higher, depending on which specialist came to see him. It is crazy, folks. And with Obamacare and single payer, it's going to get a whole lot worse. But old folks, won't worry. You'll get a happy pill. I'll get a happy pill. That's just how it is. You want to vote for Obama again? You want to vote for another Democrat again? You better think twice before you do. I certainly will never, and never have. What about you?